the easy answer to that is worrying them through every day. We take this race one day at a time, because if you start thinking of day 10 on day 2, you'll be mentally exhausted before you go to bed that night, if you can get to bed that night. But each day we go through in the car, because we spend a lot of time together, 5-6 hours in the car traveling every day. A good 50% of that is going over the data of what's happened. The engineer comes with me in the vehicle, in the support vehicle, so we'll be reviewing on the laptop all the data again from the day before, any issues that arisen, what we're going to do to address them, workloads, how the team morale is, and that's my day, every day. It's just one day at a time. You can do anything except change the cylinder block and the vehicle. The vehicle's got a chassis number, cylinder block's got an engine number, you can't change those. Anything else during the race, if you've got the resources and the manpower to do it, you can do it. You can rebuild the engine around the cylinder block if you want to, and you can rebuild the car around the chassis. So if the car, like Alvarez, rolled 4 times at 130 k's an hour, that kept us busy that night. Yeah. Well, one would imagine from last year, the sting in the tail with Peru was starting there, so after day 4, the race might already be defined. But last year they had these little descriptions on the road book called dunettes, and everybody thought, what are those little things? Anyway, those little dunettes caught a lot of people unawares, and the event changed a lot in the last 4 days. I don't think the organisers will send the crews in the first 3 days through as tough a stages as we finished last year with. Otherwise they might end up with a very spread out field. But they're going to be tough. What's the toughest day? I think, like last year, will be this stage called Fiambala, which is around the halfway, which that one stage can define the outcome of the race. So we're starting in the dunes. If we're close, if the first 3 or 4 cars are within 20 minutes after 7 days, I'll be surprised. If they are within 20 minutes, wow, we're going to have a race to the end of the Dakar, because we go onto the gravel rally type roads for some of the areas in Argentina, and then we come back over the Andes into Chile for the final event, which will be new stages for everybody again. So the sting in the tail could be the unknown driving into Santiago if we are ending up in a real race. By that way I mean if there's 10 or 15 minutes between the first crews, they will still be going absolutely hell for leather for it. Well, Fiambala is regarded, last year it was the coldest day there in recent history, because we were all waiting for this great big challenge of Fiambala, and when we got there it still took some competitors, make no mistake, because it was a nice cool 35 degrees in there. But normally Fiambala is in this bowl and it's around about 45 to 50 degrees ambient. The sand is particularly soft there, and the dunes are very difficult to read. They always run the stage at midday when there's no shadows. There's rocks hidden in the sand, so you need the tyres soft to climb the big dunes. You don't want punctures from the rocks. It's eaten Carlos Sainz twice, that stage. Prevented him from winning the Dakar, I think, really. So last year it caught Janil out, chasing hard, and he fell into a hole and lost 15 minutes. We thought we were going to have a good time there because our car, the Hilux, is really good in high ambient temperatures, and the Mini wasn't so good, and then the toughest stage, it was cool. So it's a very tricky stage from navigation, very tricky stage for temperature. If you get a tailwind there with a 50-degree ambient, that's massive inside the car. Soft dunes, so you're in low gears, maximum RPM, climbing these dunes. It's the hardest for the car it can be. And it's not particularly massive dunes. You know, they're only sort of 200-300 meters up, not these enormous ones in Chile. But yeah, it's going to be tough there.